Hello everyone, long time no see. Look, I've not shaved in a long time. This is the longest I've let my beard go, and it's very, very grey now. I could dye it. I've got some sort of environmentally friendly dye. I might do that for a laugh. I'm gonna get rid at some point, but I'm not going out. I thought, oh, just go the full. You know, normally I can't let my beard get this long because after a while, any of you that have grown a beard, men and women, after a while it gets so itchy you just have to get rid of it. But I've been using a beard shampoo and conditioner in the shower, and after the shower I've been putting on face moisturiser, but putting it on the beard. So the itchiness, I think I've gone past the itchy stage. It's very, very long, and I could imagine it would feel very nice against, oh, not say that, a bit rude. I did have a chat. I went live yesterday on the YouTube thinking I was going live on Roger's Bits and Doings. Unfortunately, after about 10 or 15 minutes of saying some inappropriate things and controversial things, turned out I was on my main channel, and I showed a lot of mess on my main channel. I was in my living room, a bit bored, thought, I want a break. I've got no one to talk to, so I thought I'd have a chat, you know. And I was at the time I was buffing up a vacuum cleaner to sell, just polishing it up, you know. Ready to photograph, box up, get ready to go on eBay, which is what I'm doing at the moment. Well, not at the moment. At the moment I'm talking to you lot, but so I went live, and there was all these comments about vacuum cleaners, and I thought, well, I know some people who watch this channel also watch my other channel, but it was all vacuum cleaner, and then it turned out that I was on the wrong, I didn't change the thing. So I thought, shall I go live now? But anything to prevent, you just seen what I've just shown you. This is my bedroom at the moment, and it wasn't this bad. I'll have to explain why it's this bad. Well, it looks as bad as it does now because you see, the trouble with me, I am getting on with things, I am doing stuff, right, which means the thing I'm concentrating most on at the moment is selling vacuums and other things, not just vacuum cleaners, other things I've bought on impulse or things that I don't want anymore. I've still got a load for charity. I mean, the charity, well, it's a big laundry basket we put charity stuff in, but it's sort of getting like that because none of the charity shops are open. And I don't think, you know, so I'm selling a lot, but some things that are too expensive to go to charity, because I can't just give loads away. I have given loads to the RSPCA, that's where they normally go, but I do need to get some money for some of the stuff I've just impulse purchased. So it's not just vacuums, but they are the biggest, bulkiest thing to get rid of. I've been getting rid of old hi-fi, old Alexas and other smart speakers, just general stuff. So that's going quite well. But today I was polishing up a pneumatic John vacuum cleaner, and it's supposed to come with some small tools, which I did have in the garage. I've been in the garage as well, sorting through that and getting the vacuums out to sell. But I couldn't find it, so I knew I had some upstairs. So the reason why it's quite a mess behind me is because I had to empty out quite a lot out of the wardrobe to find these small tools. I seem to be thwarted at every attempt. I'm trying to get things sorted in the house and straightened out because I want to start to decorate. This is my bedroom. It's never been decorated since we moved in. I think we've been here 9 years or more. It might be 10. And this is the top floor of the house where my bedroom is, and then there's a stairwell just here, and then at the bottom of the stairwell is a door. So all this and the ensuite has never seen a coat of paint since we moved in, but all the rest of the house has been painted once, or some cases twice. So it really needs doing. And these walls, from experience, they've got the thinnest layer of paint that the painters could get on them, because when we first moved in, if there was a little mark, I'd wipe it off and you'd be wiping off the paint. So what I'm going to do with this, I've got a special sander. It's a manual sander, but you can connect it to a vacuum cleaner to sand the walls. It's specifically for walls because they're not nice and smooth. So I'm going to get the walls nice and smooth and prepped, and then I'm going to use some Dulux paint that I've got, white, just for an undercoat or two, because I'm not putting expensive paint on here just for it to be sucked into the plaster, which is what it will do from experience of when we first painted originally. So I'm thinking of getting some Farrow and Ball, because I do like Farrow and Ball. It is expensive, but it's not too much expensive. I mean, it's not overly expensive. It's more expensive than cheapo paint, but it goes on nice and it looks nice when it's done. So that will come up hopefully, but I'm just trying to get things sorted. But every turn there's something that stops me from getting on. And in this case, I was stopped from carrying on with photographing the vacuum I wanted to sell because I didn't have the small tools, and I was looking all over and all sorts of things happened. And then another vacuum I'd get out, oh, I can't find the instruction book. I need to sell it with the instruction book. And then I'm searching all round. It's an absolute nightmare, but I'm saying it's taking my mind off the current situation, but it isn't, to be honest. I got some good advice from a YouTuber a few days ago who is much of the same mind as I am regarding the situation we're all in. And he's stopped thinking that we're going to be saved. There's going to be someone on the horizon who will save us all from this tyranny, and it'll all be back, all sweetness and light. I clung to that for a while, and then nothing happened. And I thought, yeah, right, well, don't lose heart, you never know, but it's beyond our control. But what isn't beyond my control is what happens in this house. So I'm trying to get my house in order. So by concentrating on getting stuff sold for eBay, clearing the house, thinking about decorating, I've been during when I have sit down for my lunch and other times, I've been watching home improvement programs on I think it's Amazon Prime. I'm watching it on the moment. There's a show called The Home Show that's from a few years ago, where this architect comes in and people have the homes and they've got all sorts of problems. The last one I watched was they had quite a small house full of clutter. The husband of the house was quite a hoarder, and I thought, I resonated with that. And when they emptied all the house out, because what they do, they take everything out of the house and then they spray everything white and cover the carpets and floors with white cloth, so they come into a completely bare house and they can see the space. And then obviously there's this particular one, they had a loft conversion because they had no room, but obviously when all the clutter was out they could see everything. So I did resonate a bit with that, so that's given me inspiration. Most of my clutter is vacuum cleaner clutter, so quite large objects. But as I said, I've been selling other things as well, things I've just bought, and I'm just like that. I buy things on impulse. I've not been so bad recently. I've been being a little bit more holding back on purchasing, apart from stuff I bought for the decorating. I haven't been quite as manic purchasing, trying to sort of calm down and consume what I've got rather than just buy. It's just, especially when it comes to things that are consumable like toiletries, food and cleaning products. I haven't bought any cleaning products for quite some months now. I only buy bleach because I actually got to a stage where I only had one bottle of bleach left, which for me is, crikey, panic stations. I've only got one bottle of bleach and I need at least 3 bottles. I like a bottle in the ensuite here, I like a bottle in the bathroom downstairs, and I like a bottle under the sink in the kitchen. So that's 3. So anyway, I've got I bought 2 when I was out last week. Didn't buy 6, I just bought 2. So small victory, So as I said, I'm taking things. Yes. I'll get back to the advice this gentleman gave me and anyone else who watched his YouTube, is to take every day, day by day, or you can even micromanage it by taking each hour by hour and getting through that. What I should start doing is something I used to do, is write lists, to-do lists. Because now I'm sort of, I want to do that, and it's all over the place. But with me, I get bored quite quickly. So I'll start a project and then think, oh, I can't be bothered with that anymore. And then go on to do something else. But writing down a list, and I used to do this while I was at work. I used to do it in the old school way of having a little notepad in my pocket and a pen. And then I'd think, right, yes, I want to do that. And I'd make a list. And it could be little things. It could just be, wash bedding, or, tidy the landing, or, think little things. And the more I ticked off by the end of the day, it's quite an achievement, and it's worth doing. Just making to-do lists. And if you're decluttering or trying to clean up your house, you can just start by, maybe you just want to do one drawer. Clean out one drawer in your kitchen. Sort your wardrobe. I mean, that'll take longer. Mark's banging about downstairs. I don't know what he's doing. He's getting on my bristles at the moment. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to focus on positive things that I have some control over. But it's not easy. I am avoiding all mass media, all mainstream media. I'm avoiding it like the plague. I don't even look. I used to go on the BBC News website a few times a week just to see what they're saying. I don't even do that now. So if anything drastic happens, I'm sure I'll get to find out about it. But I am still watching some alternative news media. The one I do tend to watch is called UK Column. It's on a Monday, Wednesday and a Friday on YouTube at 1 PM. And I would recommend that if you're worried that you're going to die if you step out of your house, watching UK Column might make you feel a little bit less scared, less fearful about walking out in the fresh air, which is something I need to do more of, to be honest. I think I'm going a bit doolally tap, even more than I am now. Anyway, I do watch UK Column. They're not sort of like nutters. A lot of people don't watch certain channels because they're conspiracy theorists. But saying that, a lot of conspiracy theorists, a lot of them are being proved correct. Things that have been said years ago, it's actually happening. It's rather bizarre, and it's something that really gets to me, to be honest, that it's actually happening in my lifetime. But anyway, if you watch UK Column, you might get a bit more of balance. You can continue watching the mainstream, but you might be able to see what's really going on, because they do their research and they show you graphs and charts from official government websites and official reports from health organisations and stuff, just to put it in perspective. Because don't believe all the doom and gloom horror stories that you read, headlines in the newspaper and on the news. As I said, if I'd continued to watch the news, I wouldn't have a TV in my living room. I would have thrown something at it. I would have smashed that TV up, and I'm so tempted to do it. But I still like my TV for watching, YouTube and DVDs and things. So it does have a purpose. If I can watch it to educate myself or to give me a bit of light relief and a bit of nostalgia, then I'll use it. But I'm not going to have it shoving propaganda down my throat and making me, upset. But I have been up and down a lot, crying quite a lot. Today was quite bad, because I'm afraid UK Column upset me, so you can't avoid it, because there's been a couple of reports and I'm thinking, what is wrong with the world? And I'll just tell you a couple of examples. I think they're having a few protests in Holland over, they're having lockdowns and they're having curfews where they can't leave the house. after a certain time. And there's been people protesting, and there was this shot of this. There wasn't even a crowd of protesters. There was a water cannon vehicle. Some people were walking very close to it along, and they just went for this woman with the water cannon, and she was flung into the wall, and I think she fractured her skull or something. And then this was reported in the Dutch media, and there was people. Well, one particular woman condemned this protester and more or less said she deserved it and she shouldn't have been going out. She should have been obeying the rules. And I hope I never see you in that square, because I walk in that square once a day and I don't want to, you know. And she was absolutely vile, and I thought, disgusting. And then a bit of good news on UK Column was this, and I think I'd read about this couple before a while ago. There's a couple, I can't remember the names, but they have what they say is a cure for cancer. It's a protocol, and it's been used by some people, and they're claiming they have actually cured themselves from cancer using this particular protocol, and I can't remember what it's called. But the woman and a gentleman, I don't think they were both working together on this protocol. They were put in prison in France, and apparently the woman's prison where this lady was put in is normally a very rough prison, and you don't often get out of that alive. So the good news was this lady has been released on bail, and she served about 19 months or something, and she probably, when it goes to court, she probably won't go back to jail because she's already served her time. So what sort of topsy-turvy world is this? That two people that are trying to help cure people of cancer, they get locked up. And they get locked up because there's a lot of big drug companies that don't want a cure for cancer. Because if cancer's cured, that's their revenue stream really reduced. Think about it. Drug companies want to remain in business. They don't want a cure. They don't want to help. Just do your research. It makes perfect sense if you think about it. I'm all for alternative methods. If people make a choice to go down an alternative route, they should be allowed to. It's their choice. It's their body, their choice. They can go down the conventional drug and chemotherapy route if they want to. I personally wouldn't. Or they could go and look for some other alternatives which can be less invasive and less destructive to the body. But of course alternatives don't give the drug companies any money, do they? So, bit controversial, but I believe that. I would do that for myself. If I ever got, heaven forbid, if I ever got cancer, there is no way I would go down the conventional route. I'd be researching, but the thing is they're trying to stop people from helping other people. I would take the I'd take the natural, well, whatever route I could, rather than go down the drugs and the chemo and all that. But anyway, so that upset me. I thought, what sort of topsy-turvy world is this? Where a couple are trying to help people. Just because they want to help people, they get locked up. I mean, ridiculous. So yeah, I got all upset about that. And well, I have to say, I cried, and I was in my kitchen at the time listening to the UK Column on my iPad while I was tidying around the kitchen. I like that in the background, just listen to it. And I just cried. And I got down on my knees on the kitchen floor and just prayed. My mental health is suffering. It really is suffering at the moment. Not to a point where I want to do myself in, although I have to say it's something that is starting to creep into my head, but it would be a very last resort. So that's why I'm trying to concentrate on what I can do in my little life, which just having a house that I can walk round, well, we can both walk round, getting getting it nicely decorated up here, and maybe some new furniture in my bedroom. Just concentrate on that, and I just keep praying for a solution to this just unbelievable situation we're in. So anyway, folks, moving my tripod out the way. I'm actually using a cheaper tripod. This is a cheap tripod that was at my mum's, and I brought it back because I thought there might be occasions when I could do with 2 tripods, because I've got 2 cameras. And I've got another tripod, more expensive, a Manfrotto one. It's supposed to be the best, but believe you me, they're overrated. So I've just been using this cheap one, and it's easier to adjust. So the time is, I don't know, I've moved my alarm clock, 7:38 p.m. on Wednesday, the something of something. Is it Wednesday? It's the 27th of Jan, is it? Let's have a look. Yes, it is 27th. So before I can get to bed, I need to sort things out. So this is what always happens. You see, this is the trouble, because I needed to get in the back of there. I had to bring stuff out and just and because I wanted to get on with what I was doing, I just shove everything out, and it's just all a mess. It has been a lot. I mean, this room was a lot better. I mean, I've cleared a load of vacuum cleaners out of it. I've boxed them up, and they're going to have to go to the garage. But I just don't understand. This was all clear a couple of days, 3 or 4 days ago, and it just gets messed up again. At the moment, I've been listening to a vlog, At Home with the Buckleys. I find it quite entertaining, I suppose. James Buckley is Jay from the In-Betweeners, if you didn't know, and he's got a Scottish wife. It's quite funny watching them doing their things. They don't say anything too controversial, obviously. So that's just playing in the background while I'm up here sorting, but it's just, oh, Roger. I just don't know. I've been like this all my life, though. That's the trouble. You could ask my mum. All my bedrooms have always been messy. I mean, this is because I've got too much stuff. But I mean, this was clear. You see that 6-drawer chest there? That was piled high with boxes, and those boxes all there, and I couldn't get in the drawers. Oh, well, I could, but I have to move loads of stuff to open a drawer, which isn't ideal. But this was sorted, so it was just my bike ornaments. I've got a bike in the corner there, and there's a little chopper style bike, and my Apple Hi-Fi that I've had years and years, which is still a very good speaker. It's not a smart speaker, it's not Bluetooth, it fits my little iPod Classic in the top, and it's very good sound. And I even got the duster on it and polished the top, but it's just got like that in a couple of days. And there's these vacuums. I mean, I use 2 of these vacuums, but the others could do with, I'm keeping those 2 at the back, and there's one to sell there, and I'm not sure about that one. And I've got a fan here from the summer that's going to be sold because I never really used it. Because I do have another fan. Yes, I do have another desk fan, which is just as good as, better than that. So when I get the box out of the garage, that can be sold, but I'll wait until summertime because nobody's going to want to buy a fan in January, I don't think. And that's a vacuum I need to unbox on my other channel, which I haven't done yet. And there's just stuff everywhere. I've got some paint pots. £5 they cost for paint sample. They're all whites though. That one is called Wevet. This one is strong white, and this one is all white. So, but what I've got, because there's a fair bit, I've got a little unit in the hallway, little drawer unit. And the top of it, it's wood and it's painted. The top of it, I spilt some oil on it. You know, the oil that you get from those diffusers. I think some sort of dribbled down. You know, those air freshener diffusers that have got oily stuff, and you've got those stick things. Anyway, that it ate into the paint, so I need to sand the top of that, and I'm going to use one of these to touch it up, whichever one will match the paintwork best of the rest of it. So, you know, it's not wasted. And I've got, that's from the garage, that's to sell. But what I'm doing at the moment, because with eBay they do an offer once, it's quite often, maybe once every month, once every 3 weeks, where they'll only charge you £1 when your item sells. Instead of a percentage, you get charged a maximum of £1. I don't know if it's a flat rate pound, or I think a pound, it's a maximum of £1. So I think it's less if the item sells for less. I'm not sure, but anyway, it does work out a good saving. So what normally happens, you get the email saying, oh, this offer's on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. It's on for 4 days. So then I'm rushing around for 4 days trying to get stuff on eBay. So I thought, never again. So I've got a load on eBay now. I think there's 13 items. So I'm preparing for the next promotional offer. So what I'm doing, trying to do 1 or 2 a day, is take the things I want to sell, unbox them, make sure they're all cleaned up, and then take the photos, package them all back up, weigh and measure the box, write them in my little book. So the next time that eBay have the offer, I'll have 10 to 20 items prepared. All I have to do is list them. And then, you know, so that's what I'm doing at the moment, because most of this is going to be sold. Well, not those towels, I've just washed them, but you can see the problem I've got here, look. But down here you see the ones that are, well, all this here, all those ones that are wrapped in black shrink wrap, they are on sale now, so they'll be coming downstairs shortly, and they'll be going, they're collected by the courier, so I don't go out to the post office, they all get collected. So I just wrap them up, I've just labelled them with what's in them, and when somebody purchases them and pays for the item, then I just go online and print a pre-printed form, and then the courier collects them. And there's a nasty dog barking. So this was clear, you know, that's going to be sold there. So this was actually clear, this bit. So what should normally be in this is the bottom part of the landing, where this is my bedroom door. So what's normally here is that little robotic vacuum and that Dyson there charging up, and this is normally clear, you see, all this. That radiator was leaking. We discovered it wasn't leaking from where we thought. Anyway, it's all fixed now, it just needed tightening up there. So I went around the whole house and made sure all the radiators were tightened up, because we've been losing pressure in our system, so any small leak will make it lose pressure, but it's fine now. I had to have a bowl under there, but I've taken the bowl away because it's there's no signs of any leakage. There's stuff on here, you know what I do, I put things on the stairs either to take downstairs or to take upstairs, and you know, it's not ideal, obviously. This is a mess. I just want to be able to walk around my house, well, Mark's house, my home, without stepping over things, without treading on things and breaking them. So this is all going to have to be decorated. This is the original colour, you see. So I'm going to go for white because I don't want to go to the trouble of cutting in. You can see, whoops, out of focus. Why is it not focusing? It doesn't like that, does it? There you go. You can see that the ceiling is white, and the standard magnolia that they paint all new builds is magnolia on the walls. But it's very hard to cut in, as they say, technical term. To cut in is where you have to use a finer brush. Actually, looking at that now, it's not done very well. I'd have done a better job of that. So I'm going to have it all the same colour. So by having it, the walls and the ceiling the same colour, that avoids all the cutting in palaver, which is such a palaver. But it's all this paintwork that needs to be done as well. You know, all the paintwork here. But what I might do is have a colour on that wall, because I don't mind cutting in there. I don't know, I might go for a slightly bolder colour, Not sure. I might just go all white and then just have some colour with some you know, accessories or something. But yeah, this is a nice it is a nice bedroom. Normally, well, not normally, it's never been, not often has it been cleared. It's so nice when I do clear it. I mean, it is a lot. When all this stuff's put back, you know, I can at least walk to my bed here, but there's still stuff in front of the wardrobes. Oh, it's just such a mess. I've got the ensuite to decorate as well, and then all the stuff needs to come out of those wardrobes because it needs painting in there, but I can do that afterwards. You know, there's a lot of filling needs doing, you know, with caulk. But as you can see, it's a mess. I've only got myself to blame, folks. See, I've got decorating stuff there that I've bought. You know, lots of, you know, new rollers, filling knife, sanding discs, paint kettles. Oh no, it's a scuttle. There's two of those. That's called a scuttle. That instead of a tray, you can paint a lot more by having a deeper sort of bucket thing to put the paint in. Oh, and this is what I got for is what I got for Handy Kit. This is for sanding the walls, and it comes with a hose, and if you connect it to a vacuum, it's very good rating. I bought this from Toolstation. It says basically for smoothing out all your walls prior to painting, and it's dust free if you connect it to your vacuum. So what I've decided to do, well, obviously there's no chance of any decoration done until I've really cleared a great deal more vacuums, so I need to sell a lot more to clear the space, and then I can start decorating. But what I've decided to do, because I get bored quite quickly, I'm going to do it bit by bit. Certainly the woodwork, see, when there's not all clothes hanging on this what do you call this thing here? These things. You know, I'm going to do, I tried out a new sander here. This is why this has got paint. So I'm just going to do a bit at a time, a little bit a day. Instead of a whole upheaval of trying to do it in a few days, I'm just going to do a section at a time. Maybe, look, this, why is the focusing going? You see, it's all cracked here. I mean, this cracked bit needs digging out and proper flexible sealant put in. So one day I could just do this part, you see, that bit there, and stop there. What I'd like to have done, but I think just getting it decorated and tidy will be enough to be going on with. But I would quite like to replace these with something more modern, maybe with a glass, you know, completely get rid of that, have something much more modern, as I said, with just a plain panel of glass there, and same with this bit here, maybe even frosted glass. But I don't know, it's probably not really necessary. I mean, even considered getting another window put in here, a Velux window, because it's not that dark in this room, to be honest, because there is a window there and there is a window in the ensuite behind me, a Velux window. So as long as I keep the ensuite door open, it does let a fair bit of light through. But I was thinking, oh, to have a Velux window as well in the middle of there, you know, it'd be great in summer, because as I'm sleeping on the bed, I could have it open and have a breeze, and of course it would really add extra light. Mark said no, but if I'm paying for it, I mean, what does it matter? But I think just Roger, just concentrate on clearing out the mess and decorating it. I may get new carpet. I'm thinking of a nice grey colour, I don't know. And I might consider new furniture. There's nothing wrong. I mean, everyone seems to have this furniture. It's from IKEA. It's called Malm, M-A-L-M. Mark's got it in his bedroom in the oak finish. This is white. They do it in a gloss white now. I also purchased the glass tops for it. There's nothing wrong with the furniture. I mean, it's cheap, but it holds up pretty well, the amount of stuff I put in it. And then I thought, well, I might get a new bed. and that you can get a Malm bed, one of those Ottoman beds that has a cantilever and the whole bed, the whole mattress moves up on a hydraulic dubry. I mean, there's so much stuff under that bed. This bed is raised up because I've got so much underneath it. I got these riser things, look. So it shouldn't be this tall, but and obviously that's how much taller it should be. This is the drawer where I've got bedding and towels in. That shouldn't be a gap. So normally I have a throw over that, over my bed, so it covers that bit up. But as you can see, it's too high. So yes, at some point I'd like to get rid of the stuff under my bed, most of it, so I can lower the bed again, because I think it makes the room look smaller having the bed too high. But I have considered a new bed, but there's nothing wrong with this. It could do with a bit of a shampoo, and the headboard, it's gone a bit bobbly, but I've got one of those bobble thingies, clothes shaver things, that does work on it. So I think I bought these lights fairly recently. They're lovely. They're from IKEA. I like them because they've got a little pull cord. I don't like fiddling around to try and turn a light off with those inline switches. So I always try to look for pull cord lights. What I like about these, they were very reasonably priced, but they adjust in height. So at the moment I've got them the same height as the headboard, but when I lower the bed again, I'll be able to lower the lights. So again, they'll be in the same height as the headboard. So they're really good. When my mum was looking for new lights for her living room, she was looking around and I suggested these. She's got grey living room walls. They look fine. She's got one of these, and she's also got the standard lamp that matches. So very good is IKEA, really. They do have some nice things that last. I've got some older IKEA furniture in the study that I've had for years, since the 90s, that's still looking okay. But yeah, as you can see, folks, that's my trouble. Anything but do this. I mean, that's empty up there. There's all sorts. Now up there I've got these fabric boxes that can collapse when they're empty. So they fit all the way up there with things behind because it's on a slope. So I'll put those back first, and that's a vacuum cleaner, believe it or not. That'll go in there again, and I'll be able to walk. This will all be clear. My bed will be clear. Access to the ensuite will be clear, and be a bit clearer here before I go to bed. So I better get on with it now, folks. But I thought, well, I'll get caught up and say hello. So I'll say goodbye to you for now. I don't know when you'll see another video. We do have a caravan holiday booked, but it's in March. I doubt we'll be going on that, and I think there's another one booked for later. And we may be going to a holiday cottage, the same holiday cottage we went to with my mum in the northeast near Sea Houses. That's provisionally booked for September, but I've said to Mark, don't bank on it. Mark's getting the caravan service soon. 2 new tyres. I've said, I don't know if we'll be ever going out in that caravan again. It's a terrible, terrible thought. There's one consolation, it's on the drive. Once it's not full of empty vacuum cleaner boxes, it'll make a nice little bolt hole, because I do like sitting in that, even if it's not going anywhere. It's just a nice little cosy space. I could have that as a little office. You know, I can get away from Mark in this house because it's a 3-storey. Is it 2 or 3-storey? I think they call it a 2.5 officially. 2.5-storey house. This is the half-storey self. So there's a ground floor, first floor, and this is a second floor. So Mark is downstairs watching trash TV. He just sits there with a remote, sort of. He doesn't know I'm there most of the time. He just sits down. I mean, he's tired after work, and he's just flick, 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 and it's so annoying. So I can't sit downstairs with him. He just flicks through stuff I don't want to watch, but he won't settle and watch one thing, and it gets me so annoyed, because if I sit down in front of the TV, I select something I want to watch, and I watch it. And sometimes I don't even watch the whole thing. I'll just pause it, and if it's on catch-up thing, I'll go and do something else, and then I'll come back to it. So I can't bear it. I mean, there are things we're watching Schitt's Creek again from the beginning. We did watch all that on Netflix. I don't have Netflix anymore. I'm not paying for streaming services, so I bought the box set. So we're working our way through that. Tend to watch a couple on a Sunday when we're having our meal. Maybe we'll watch some on a Saturday. It's at the weekends we tend to watch things together more. But I can't bear to sit down with him when he's just... It's like, you know, you could go like that in front of him and he wouldn't notice. I could walk through the living room in a little tight PVC thong, right, with nipple clamps and maybe even bells hanging there and a big pink afro wig. Could mince through and he wouldn't even notice me. You know, I have had goes at him. You know, it is quite frustrating because he doesn't listen. He very seldom actually listens. I'm just white noise, and he freely admits it. I'm white noise, but it is frustrating when I tell him something, and then a couple of days later I'm doing the thing I told him I was going to do, and then he asks about it, and then I just get quite angry, to be honest. Sometimes, not all the time. I just think, I've told you this. But then again, I can get away with all sorts because I can tell him stuff that I possibly wouldn't want him to know, and then when it happens I can just say, well, I told you that. Anyway, he's working from home tomorrow, so there'll be no videoing tomorrow, but I will continue tomorrow doing my eBay and getting my things photographed. I've left my studio lights up in the living room, so I'll be setting up some more things, getting them boxed up and all that palaver. So, you know, I'll still be pottering, still be doing things, but it's hard to do a lot of stuff when he's in the office and he's on Zoom calls and he's on the phone to people, and I just can't really get on the way I can get on when I've got the house to myself. I'm tippy-toeing around, you know, trying not to make a noise, and it's difficult. But he has been working more from the office recently, which gives me a bit of a break. So that's it. Better crack on. I will possibly at the end of the video just show you a slight improvement to see, look, I can actually get in my bed now. I will be able to go to bed. I'll wake up and then just carry on. It's going to get there. I will at some point be showing you a video of it all finished, all decorated. I'll probably video bits of me decorating if you're interested. But as for going away and visiting other places in the caravan, I can't see that happening, although I've got plenty of footage I can show you when I get round to editing it. But priority, as I'm sure you will agree, priority at the moment is sorting out the house. Downstairs isn't too bad, really isn't. I've cleared a lot of it today. I did explain to Mark it's going to get worse before it gets better. He does understand, you know, things are going to be brought in, but they are going to be... They're coming in from the garage, but they're going to go out the front door. And then I'm going to crack on with what's in my storage unit, because that's a waste of money, so I need to start doing that. But only when I've cleared space in my garage that I can start emptying the storage unit of things I'm going to sell. And it is very cathartic when the parcels are collected. It's hard to describe, but it's just you feel weighed down. I mean, this is not unique to, you know, it's common if you've got too much stuff. And people would look at this and say, how do you sleep in this? Very easily, because it's dark and I close my eyes and I go to sleep very quickly. Although I have been finding trouble getting to sleep of late, to be honest. Not too bad. I'm not sort of staying awake all night, but I've been going to sleep and sort of waking up, and it's my mind. I'm not being able to turn off. Things are going on in my head, and so anyway, I've forgotten what I was talking about. So take that advice if you want to. If you're struggling, I'm struggling with this now. Despite being a natural born hermit and not really craving company and social life. Even I'm being affected by it. So I can't think what it's doing to people who like to go out, who like to socialise, who like to go to pubs and restaurants, who like to go to the gym. It must be absolutely awful. So if it's bad for me, it must be absolutely terrible for people like that. But try and focus on what you can do in your life, what you can change, whether it's just doing what I'm doing and decluttering, selling stuff, doing a bit of decorating, doing some gardening when it's okay to go out in the garden if you've got a garden, walking your dog if you've got one, sorting out your cupboards and drawers, whatever, just focus on that, because you can control what's going on, and try and not to let what the heck is going on outside your four walls, try not to let that get you too down. It's very difficult. But I would recommend you stop watching stop watching mainstream media. Don't be sucked into all that, because it's just soul destroying. You need to rise above that and try and watch more positive things. It's very difficult. Anyway, take each day, each hour at a time, and maybe one day I'll be making a video crying tears of joy that things have got better. But I'm wavering between, yes, I expect it to get better, or I expect it to stay the same or get worse. I'm like that. Got to try and focus on the positive. There you go, folks. That's a little bit better. At least I can climb into bed later after a lovely shower, and I can actually walk to my bedside table. Obviously the rest of it is still a tip, but it's a work in progress. A lot of those are going to be sold, so trying to get to a stage where all that's clear, so I can open my wardrobe doors without having to move boxes out the way. One day this will be done. See you later.